created the message, everyone's entitled to a college education. The banks. Because once they ran out of like all these houses to possibly mortgage, because the United States built out over the last 60 years, they were like, we need to find another way to make loans. So they're like, let's make a new American dream. All right? And it has good intentions. Like Obama signed it into law. It's good intentions. Or whatever, whoever signed it into law. But ultimately, I think everyone should have access to a good at college education. But all of a sudden, it turned from education, nonprofit, because when I was growing up, it was a lot of nonprofit colleges. Now it's all for-profits. You know, most colleges are actually corporations, and most like a lot of these colleges have hedge funds behind it. You know what the hedge funds are called? They're called endowments. You know, Harvard, for instance, you know what their endowment is? $50 billion. So they're like the 90th biggest country in the world. Just from that. Okay, if you had to rank them in country-wise, they're like the 90th best. I was reading a statistic on Harvard is if you just took their class every year and you paid for every single person's tuition every year, how many years could they do it for free? Because that's what their savings is for. They just save money to make more money.
Right.
They 120 some years or 130 years.
Wow.
Every single person could get a free education just from their endowment. But they don't want that. They want ultimate power, ultimate prestige. They want, they you know, ultimately, when a college is now for profit, what stops colleges from charging more? When access to capital is free now, where you can get a student loan just because you're a moron that graduated high school, and you don't know anything about money, and just say, oh, I want to go to University of Miami. Sure. Go ahead, here, just fill out some paperwork. Oh crap, I'm now $80,000 in debt.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't even know what happened to me. How fair is that?
Very fair.
Okay? So I'm going to tell you right now is college, I believe, is very important. But it's not the end-all be-all that will make you successful. If you end up going to a crappy college, like a community college, to save money for the first 2 years, I think that's a wonderful idea. I know community college people that go into Ivy Leagues after. I know community college people that go into really good schools. It's not, the path isn't as what your friends and your family and your family's friends tell you. It's not always get to the best school. Everyone has their own path. And if you choose that path and you try to think of it in a different way, it'll help, okay? Any questions so far? Okay. I'll tell you is, if you take a student loan out and you think it's gonna be gifted to you, success will be gifted to you, you're wrong. And all the things that you learn in school is what's gonna make you successful, you're wrong, okay? But if you do approach it and you know you need to pay for it and you need to borrow money for it, if you approach it like you did and you did yesterday at work, where you're present, you give full effort, and you know what the long-term results will be, and you go to the library every day, you avoid the 24 hours of Madden that you play every day, or the whatever else do you guys do, Fortnite or whatever, you're gonna get a lot more out of it. All right? You don't have to get straight A's to be successful, but getting straight A's proves to me, if I was there, that I could do anything well. If I was a straight B student and now I'm an A student, and it takes me a fractional amount of time to be an A student because I just figure out how to study better and have better habits, then I'll be great, okay? So, okay. Student, okay. Tips for college. Somebody asked me that question, okay? So, you know, if you want to be a teacher, It's a wonderful profession. But a lot of times people think a teacher is not, it's such a narrow field of thought. Am I a teacher? Straight up. I mean, what am I doing right now?
Teaching.
Am I a better teacher than most of your teachers?
Yes.
It's such a strange thing when you're young and you've been told a lot of things and you imagine the reality the way you want to imagine it, that you see a teacher as either being a professor or whatever. That's not what a teacher might be. If you love teaching people, you can be anything you want. You could be the COO of Chick-fil-A, because Chief Operations Officer, that's what they do. They teach people how to operate. You can be, you can start a nonprofit like I'm gonna do, by going around just teaching people and paying myself whatever salary I feel is fair. I'm not saying I'm gonna be greedy, but ultimately, I'm gonna do it for free. But ultimately, a teacher is a very small sliver, and there's so much more to that than what you, and it just open up the possibilities. Okay, so there's 3 things that you want to look for in your major that I think are important. Is what you could be good at. So what you could be good at doesn't mean you have to be, you're good at it now, but you're pretty sure you can be really good at it. So if you're tone deaf and you want to be a musician, not a good idea. Okay. 2, what you like. So you don't have to, everyone says follow your passions. I don't really agree with that. I think your passions will come later in life, and what you think now might not actually be your passions. Like, how naive do you think I was when I was 18 years old? You know what my major was in college? First semester? Fashion design. Okay? Yeah, that's real dumb. Okay? I love art. I love design. I probably could be pretty decent at it. But man, I'm glad that's not what I did, because I would have been pigeonholed into a life of loserness. Okay? I would have changed my mind and go, oh, I don't really like this. And I would have, every resume I put on, it'd be like, yeah, I'm a fashion design major. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if this job's right for you, man. Okay. And 3, what can make you enough money for you to be happy? Okay? Money doesn't buy happiness, but up to 70,000 it does. So you should make at least 70 grand, I think, personally, unless you got a trophy, unless you got a sugar mama or sugar daddy,
right.
Which I hope I have, but I don't. I got myself, I guess. But what can you? I'll tell you is. This is what I say to a lot of people who are very undecided. This is what I say. I said, you want to work for a hospital, you want to work for a school, you want to work for whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. What are you working for? You're working for a business. If you're not really sure, but you want a dynamic degree, why don't you just get a business degree? Could you work in the medical profession? Absolutely. Could you work in finance? Absolutely. Can you work in the school district? Absolutely. You could be superintendent of schools. You can't be superintendent. I believe you can't be superintendent of schools if you don't have some sort of business degree. Okay? A lot of people go, I want to be a teacher. Yeah, wonderful. But would you rather be a teacher of a classroom, or would you be a teacher of teachers? Would you rather decide curriculum and entire scopes of an entire school district, or rather just be sitting in your classroom teaching science? It just depends on what you truly like, if you want the small interaction or the bigger picture, okay? So, my tip for you guys for when you go to school college is approach general class selection as the most important thing you will learn, not the least important thing. You're gonna end up going, oh, I gotta take all these prereqs, statistics, economics, a psych degree, a sort of arts thing I need, right? What would you say?
Chemistry.
Chemistry. In college, you usually, oh yeah, but usually those are actually requisites. But then you have to take humanities and a little bit of random things as well. don't find. I remember there's a bunch of classes: rocks for jocks, claps for whatever, A's for whatever, like something like that. And it's basically like those gimme A classes. I took a couple of those. Don't worry. But ultimately, clap for credit. It's like you just listen to music and then just go like this.
Right.
So ultimately, the best things I learned in college were my electives: sociology, psychology, statistics, Asian American studies, all these different things that I took, political science, all these little random things that I was like, I don't really want to take this, and I never thought of it like that. But I was like, but I did choose the things that interested me versus the easy A's all the time. And that's what creates my world now. It really helps me get a full scope of the world. You ever meet people who are only like, they only know one thing, sort of?
Yeah.
Very like, they don't understand how the dynamics work in whatever it is they're in. So just think of it like that, okay? Be curious when you're in college. Explore. Definitely study your major, do a decent job at it. Just graduate with a stupid piece of paper and you'll be fine, I guarantee you. No one cares whether you got 3.8 or 3.2 after 10 years, or 2.8 or 3.9. Once you're after your first or second job, it's all on merit. It's all on what you produce, what you've shown, and the results you did. They don't even care what your major, first, second job, yes. But after that, they don't care, okay?